All righty. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's episode of Roundabout Sports, presented by Interstate 70 Sports Media, where our passion is our profession, and of course, by Harsh Construction LLC, with over 50 years combined experience in the field of landscaping and renovation. Of course, call for a quote today at 618-363-9818. Thank you so much. It is a gloomy Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. I'm the Maestro, Jeremy Carp, and alongside me is my longtime friend, published author, and one hell of an athlete, the man himself, Dew Henson. Although he is muted, so bear with us with that. Now you're good. I can tell. You're good.
My fault.
It's good. How you doing, man?
No, I'm good. What's going on today?
Nothing. There's a lot. I mean, so there's definitely a lot to talk about. And here's the first thing I wanted to bring up. Now, as always, folks, you can find Roundabout Sports on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pocket Casts, Amazon Music, basically anywhere you stream and podcast a platform, you can find us. Follow us on Facebook, on X, and of course, at the Interstate 70 Sports Media YouTube channel, where you can also find the Blues Fan Forum podcast, the Main Event with Austin and Babs, Issues with Wrestling, the Daily Show, and the Elite Sports Show and Daily Roundup. Now that I got all of that out of the way in one long breath, so AB is not feeling good tonight, and we wish him the best and hope he gets better absolutely soon. It has been a crazy few days in the world of sports. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is actually something coming off the heels of week 3 in the NFL, and that is rookie Jackson Dart. And Andrew, I know this was something you had predicted at some point was going to happen this season. Jackson Dart, who was drafted in the first round of this year's draft in the NFL, has been officially named the starting quarterback, and the New York Giants have benched Russell Wilson. So, Andrew, the first thing I got to ask you is, I mean, obviously we're heading into week 4, so I don't know if you want to say it's overdue, but I mean, is this now the time where you should start Jackson Dart over Russell Wilson?
So I look at it from different perspectives here.
Okay.
I think Jackson Dart should start from the jump, personally. But if you're looking to develop a quarterback and let him get some growth under a veteran, then I don't think you should have started him yet.
And take a look at the schedule they got coming up. I mean, the Giants just got done with So we take a look at the New York Giants. They have the Los Angeles Chargers this week. Then they got the New Orleans Saints. Then they got the Philadelphia Eagles. And then you got the Broncos and then the Eagles again. So Jackson Dart's first 4 games, I mean, first 5 games, excluding the Saints, you got 4 really strong defenses, one of which is the defending Super Bowl champions that they have to play twice.
That's why I don't think you should have started him yet.
Yeah, definitely. I think a kind of a rough time to start. Jackson Dart.
Everyone's gonna have stock in Jackson Dart, and then they're gonna be like, "Well, he's not living up to it." I'm like, "Do you expect him to? Like, if he goes out there and balls, I mean, it is what it is." But I wouldn't have the high expectations. But experience is great.
Exactly. I don't think that he's going to do bad per se, but you take a look at and he's repping the NBA champion Boston Celtics, because the Night Owl himself is tuning in live. And be sure to send in your comments and questions. And the Night Owl is not too fond of the Celtics gear. And of course, Night Owl's asking if he can ask an NBA question, and of course, send it in while we finish up our talk on Jackson Dart here. Yeah, basically with Jackson Dart, I look at it as there is, he's been in packages already with the offense.
Mm-hmm.
They put him in, but he hasn't attempted a pass. Now he's going to go in there full on starting QB. And I personally, when you have a guy like Jameis Winston still on your team, like maybe give Jameis a shot and then give Jackson a shot, because Jackson Dart, you know what's funny? You don't have much experience with this because you're fortunate that your Packers have great quarterback stability. Judging from the jacket I'm wearing, I know a thing or two about quarterbacks being rushed into early. And I'm telling you, it can either go very good or very bad. Most of the time, very bad. So it is, especially with the Giants, not exactly. And with Tyrone Tracy out for a few weeks, I will say.
That's tough. That's a tough hit.
I will say the Cam show is here. Scatterboo season,
I told everyone. Baby. I told everyone he was one of the steals of the draft. I said what I said.
Scatterboo is. I worry about him though, man. He's running like Earl Campbell over there. He is bull rushing helmet first.
Oh yeah, he's different.
This is the thing.
I do gotta talk about Cam Scatterbo in particular in terms of Russell. So, do you think that when he grabbed Russell's jersey and said "Let's go," do you think that had any indication on the fans, Giants fans in particular? Because it didn't seem like Russell Wilson was engaged at all when he did that.
Yeah, I think
this is a question for you. I want you to answer.
I do think there came a point where Russell Wilson was just kind of over a lot. Sunday night, you and I watched the game. We saw, and this is the same team that dropped over 40 on the Dallas Cowboys. So it's not like Russell doesn't have it anymore. And yet, and the Chiefs' defense is not elite. They got a great front. I will say the front seven is great. Secondary is not elite. But meanwhile, they just got bullied all night long. Malik Neighbors, 2 for 8 on targets? It was just bad all around. Russell Wilson did not have it, and the crowd was clearly upset by it.
Do you know what I equate the Malik Neighbors situation to?
Okay, what?
I'm a proud Celtic. I'm a proud Packer fan. I love my Packers. I love Aaron Rodgers. I love Devontae Adams. But what was my big gripe on Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams in the playoffs?
Yep, the tunnel vision.
And it seems like these quarterbacks, even last year, they only want to target Malik Neighbors. And then that's why Malik Neighbors got hurt. And Brian Thomas took over him in yards as a rookie. Like, they got to learn how to get other players involved other than Malik Neighbors. He's not going to last. He's a small receiver. He's getting a beating. He's literally taking a beating every game.
He took a rough shot at the end
zone.
They're
literally forcing the ball to him every time.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because nobody's intimidated by Wan'Dale Robinson or Darius Slayton. That is a good thing about having Cam out of the backfield. Is a good pass catching back on top of just being a really good running.
So it's Tyrone Tracy. They just don't get them involved.
No, and Neighbors will sadly probably pay the price. Now we're gonna take a quick 180 because the Night Owl has sent in some questions for us. These are actually going to be for Andrew. So, these are basketball questions. First question is, all bias aside, where do you expect his Miami Heat to finish in the East this coming season?
The Miami Heat are always going to be a contender. It's like you all still got Bam. They're going to make the playoffs. That's all I can tell you. Now, that's all I can give you is they're definitely going to make the playoffs.
Okay. We're going to go now to question 2 that he has. Question 2 is how good will the Mavs be when Kyrie and the gang be when everyone is back to 100%?
Sky's the limit for them boys. Listen, I don't know if you know this, but they're two. I don't know about first ballot, but they're 2 future Hall of Famers. 3 future Hall of Famers on that team. And I'm a big fan of Derek Lively. The sky's the limit for that. That team has all the makings to be really good. And the thing that made the Lakers not so great with Anthony Davis is he was forced to play center. Anthony Davis is a power forward. I know it's more positionless basketball at the end of the day in this day and age, but AD is not a center. He's a power forward. And the Mavs give him the ability to play power forward. But if they're at 100%, you ain't stopping Kyrie and Clay and AD. It's going to be really hard.
I was going to say, because that's something that we're wondering is, when you look at the Southwest this year, will the Mavs' wealth of talent finally cash in and pay off?
If they're healthy. That's a hard thing, though.
I was going to say, you really take into account,
moving AD to power forward is going to help him a lot, though, health-wise.
Well, here's an interesting thing is how many NBA teams have 3 number 1 overall draft picks on their roster? 1. The Mavs. And talent is hard to beat in the NBA. Look, even after trading Luka, the Mavs have amassed plenty of talent here over the past couple seasons. Now,
who's their third number 1 overall draft pick?
Cooper,
AD, and
Kyrie.
My bad. I forgot all about Cooper.
You're good, man. But yeah, the Lakers, of course, have 2 with Ayton and LeBron, but the Mavericks also have the number 2 pick of the 2015 draft, D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, yes,
like I said, they can play together.
I get it. This past season was terrible for the Mavs. They traded Luka, recalibrated the entire franchise. Everyone's furious. But, this is a team that went to the conference finals just 3 years ago and the finals a year ago. Jason Kidd has a lot of good players on this team. Why do people sleep on this Mavericks team?
Because the players are not seen as winning players to a lot of people. How do I say this?
Is it a lot of talent and just not enough execution?
That part. I say the same thing about St. Louis in general. St. Louis athletes, St. Louis sports. We have all the makings of what's it called? They have, like us at St. Louis, we have all the makings on paper, but we always fumble when it matters most.
Yeah.
Hey, no. You ain't gotta come at me.
I take a look. Oh, go ahead.
I saw a comment, and I know what you mean, but the narrative has always been they needed someone else to be the lead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've always been seen as role players, even though they're stars.
You know what's funny is, take a look at the as the NBA, the new season is going to be upon us soon. And we take a look right now. ESPN, for example, has the Mavericks at number 16 in the league, where their previous ranking was number 5. We move up through 2 rankings. Actually, you know what? Renee's Heat is actually at number 14. And they describe these past 2 losses as extremely uncompetitive.
Ooh.
These last 2 playoff first-round losses.
That's tough.
Um,
That's tough.
Now, here's one where I have to ask you, as we're going up these rankings. In fact, we'll start. We'll do the top 15, I guess 16, since technically that's where the Mavs were. So 16 was the Mavs, 15 was the Pacers, 14 was the Heat, 13 is your Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Andrew, I have to ask you, why are the Celtics ranked so low, and what do they need to do, especially if JT ain't coming back anytime soon, to be a competitive force in the East still?
Jaylen Brown has to take a step. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
You know, it's funny. A lot of people are saying that JB is actually more valuable to this franchise than Tatum.
I've been said he wasn't. We've had this argument 1,000,001 times.
Yeah.
There's a reason Jaylen Brown's been in trade talks and Jason hasn't been.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Jaylen Brown is a superstar. He is very talented, but Jason Tatum is the star of this team.
Yeah, he's the face. He's the face that, I mean, is the one that you want to plaster out there for marketing. He's the star that everybody wants to see. But Jaylen Brown's one of those pieces that puts the puzzle together.
For sure.
And the thing of it is, especially with Tatum's injury, you can't afford to lose Jaylen Brown.
Couldn't afford to lose all the people we lost.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing. I mean, let's see. They traded Porzingis, Drew Holiday, but here's the thing: JB's back.
Al Horford. We lost
Al Horford. Derek White's coming back though.
Oh yeah, D White. I'm pretty sure Peyton Pritchard's going to be our starting point guard this year. I don't know. We'll see. We got Anthony Simons.
Well, we take a look now at number 12 on our ranking list. We have the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
We have the Minnesota Timberwolves at 12 or 11. At 10, this one I really need to hear your take on because this is going to be interesting. At number 10, we have the Spurs. Now, we grew up our whole lives with the Spurs being a perennial powerhouse team. Consistent playoff bound, won a couple finals. I mean, the Spurs were synonymous with the playoffs. And then the past few years, it's been literally the exact opposite. Now, here's my thing. They are talking about the great young core of players that the Spurs have, I want to say, sneakily made over the past 2-3 years. I don't think people have really paid much attention. Yes, because they've been losing terrible. We're not going to act like the Spurs have not been bad. They have been. But they've used that to their advantage to get some great draft picks, to make some great moves, and now they have a position to where they can finally start making some noise in the West.
I think Stephon Castle, he's certified.
I like Dylan Harper, honestly.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a good backcourt player for them. Number 9, we got the Denver Nuggets. Last year, their previous ranking was 6, but they are 9 now. Number 8. All right. This is the elephant in the room. The Lakers. Okay. What do we even say about the Lakers anymore that hasn't already been said? Like,
I'm not going to comment on the Lakers. I don't have nothing nice to say.
This is my thing. Like,
I'm playing. I could talk about it.
It's fine. I think the big thing is just the security they have having Luka on that team under contract, especially with after this season. I'm going to be honest. We don't know when LeBron is going to retire, but we know at some point he will.
And then bringing in DeAndre Ayton was big after losing AD, to be honest.
The Lakers lost some big names and big players, but, the Night Owl has a comment here. Lakers are the Cowboys of the NBA. All talk, no show, plus zero defense.
You know what? I can't say that. They have zero defense because they always stealing my guards, man. It started with Avery Bradley.
Oh, no.
Then it went to Rajon Rondo. Now they got Marcus Smart.
Yeah, it was bad.
Man. But yes, I can give you that. It really do be like that with the Lakers, even though they have the second most championships in the league, which is crazy.
Yeah,
but
keyword second.
The delusion do be like that sometimes with the Lakers.
Yeah, it does. Number 7 on our list, or ESPN's list, I should say, is the Orlando Magic.
Great young team.
Number 6. Here's a team that, to me, they always say wine ages, fine wine.
If you say Houston.
A lot of the guys on this team have aged like fine wine. The Golden State Warriors.
The Warriors.
I don't know how they do it. If there's ever a team I do not expect to be either competitive or like just at the level they are every year and somehow find a way to keep being at that level, it's the Warriors. Like with Curry, Draymond, Jimmy Butler. I mean, it's a very...
You want me to say what I gotta say about that?
Yeah.
How many of those... We'll even add Al Horford into the mix because he's a big vet, even though because they got him now. How many of them is seen as super duper athletic?
Probably none of them.
Exactly. That's the answer to your question.
I was gonna say, yeah, none of them are really like hyped up as a super athletic, build, but they're just all clutch players.
They play the right way.
I'm not gonna lie. When you talk, we always talk about players, athletes that are born to do something. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Stephen Curry was born to play basketball.
And who even knows what they're gonna do with Kuminga? Free that man. Just let that man go. You gonna have me going on a tangent with that one.
Well, my thing is, I mean, yeah, he is still he's a restricted free agent, still negotiating with the team. But to me, I think
he don't want to be here.
Well, the issue is that the Warriors, Kuminga's situation with the Warriors is regarding player options and team options, which are some of the biggest issues that come up during contract negotiations.
For sure.
And yeah, there is a chance Kuminga just ends up not playing on the team this year. It's a fairly good chance.
Did he play on the team at all last year?
No. So I guess there is that. Number 5 on our list. We hit our top 5, folks. The Clippers. Oh, good heavens. Okay. Now, get this. There are 11 out of their 14 players are under contract through 2026-27. 2 of them are Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. If there's ever a team that needs to win now, it's not just about wanting to win now, it's about needing to win now, it's them. Because after the 2027-28 season, there is a complete void lot of question marks. So,
and they won't win, unfortunately. Their players are going to sit out, load management, not be healthy.
I was going to say, now where does that come in as far as who is I don't even know if I want to say to blame, but just why is it the way it is with the Clippers? Or for that matter, any team James Harden is on.
Why are you calling out James Harden like that?
You cannot tell me, though, that I am wrong, because the Nets dynasty, and folks for tuning in on our audio-visual, on our live stream, it is quote-unquote dynasty with him, KD, and Kyrie. The fact that turned into nothing will be the biggest anomaly.
Is that so? You're blaming James Harden for that?
I was just, honestly, it was kind of a satirical question, but at the same time,
I'm like,
it is it's a satirical question, but it also is kind of like, when you think about it, it's about the environment the players are around. Like, not just because you're a star player doesn't mean you get along with other star players. Like, you don't mesh well with them. And, because James Harden's one of the greats, and no one's ever going to deny that. I'll never deny that.
I could. I won't.
Sure as hell can't with the scoring.
That's the refs. The refs put him on the line so much. That's the reason. That's the reason he scored so many points. He just happens to be a great free throw shooter. No, that's some haterism. That's some haterism if I've ever heard it.
That is drinking the haterade. Number 4 on our list, ESPN's list, of course, of the power rankings is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yes, sir. They're like that. Shout to my twin.
And I'm not even saying this as a Cleveland fan. I'm telling you right now, man, if there was ever anything more disappointing, it was seeing that Cavs team that was so fun to watch in the regular season lose the way they did to the Pacers.
The Pacers were like that, though. The Pacers
But you know what? Good. That's when you started saying, okay, these Pacers are for real. Then they take out the Knicks. I'm like, damn. Mm-hmm. And then the Thunder come along. But no, I'm just saying this right now. Tyrese Halliburton's injury changed the landscape of everything.
Damian Lillard's injury changed the landscape of everything. Jason Tatum's injury changed the landscape of everything. And then Tyrese Halliburton's injury changed the landscape of everything. Those 3 injuries were so, gigantic. Man.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
You can't look me in my face and tell me the Pacers were going to lose that game. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm telling you right now, and I'm not saying it so much as one person carrying carrying a team, but Halliburton doesn't get hurt. I don't know if the Thunder win.
I don't think they do.
The momentum that Indiana was on in that finals up until that injury, just the whole pathway, we're talking the whole playoffs up to that moment. You talk about changing moments, was unreal. It honestly, I'm going to just say it, even though the execution result ended differently, it reminded me of the Red Sox in 2004 when they came back against the Yankees. Cardinals, one of the best, that Cardinals team was one of the best regular season teams all time. 105 wins that season, top offense. But no one was stopping that Red Sox team with that momentum you had. It doesn't matter who the most talented is. The momentum will always win. Momentum and heart and determination will always beat raw talent.
Facts.
And which is what made it all the more heartbreaking, because so many people knew that when Halliburton went down, the life got sucked out of the team.
Out of the NBA universe, if you want my honesty.
And that moves us to number 3, where we have the New York Knicks, a team that the Pacers had to go through in the playoffs. And I'll be honest, you and I had a very interesting talk about the New York Knicks not too long ago because they fired their coach. And
Oh, I remember now.
a while back, a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, they fired their coach. And at first, I didn't know why. Keep in mind, folks, for everyone tuning in, I'm not as big a basketball person as Andrew is. And then he brought up something really interesting to me, and I wish I could put the graphic on here, but
It's crazy.
you take a look at the top 10 average minutes played in an NBA game. The New York Knicks' entire starting five.
All but one, I think.
Well, actually, 4 out of the 5 were in the top 10.
The usage rate was ridiculous.
The other player was within the top 15.
It was something like that. It was
So
stupid.
it's basically 5 out of 1/3 of the the NBA's most average minutes used players were a New York Knicks player. They got worn down.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rotation was not there. The proper game management and coaching management was not there. So once Andrew presented that to me, I really understood why he got the boot because, yeah, you can't be having that.
I remember it wasn't last year, as the year before. Josh Hart came with freaking medical tape all over his stomach. He's got his jersey up. Everyone's like, why is he cramping so much? I'm like, look how much he's playing.
Yeah.
That was when Dante DiVincenzo was on the team and things like that. All the injuries were happening, man.
Right. No, I get it. It is that I couldn't imagine. That's another thing we talk about with the injuries, just wearing down on the players. You know? So when I take a look at the Knicks, I mean, they reached their first quarterfinals or conference finals in a quarter century, lost in 6 games. But you know what? I give them credit when they replaced Tom Thibodeau with Mike Brown. So with that, here comes another. We got our last 2 on the list. Number 2. Now, this I don't get at all. And that, once again, that's probably just me not knowing as much. The Houston Rockets.
They just traded for KD. What else you want to say?
But does KD suddenly shoot up? I get it. KD is one of the all-time greats. But does him alone suddenly shoot up that team?
They were a solid team before he got there.
They were, I mean, this is the thing. I'm trying to see, by the past few seasons, what their records have been. So give me 2 seconds. Okay, here I have it here now, folks. Hang on. So, okay. Last year, they did finish second in the Southwest Division. Or was it in the? Hang on, I got to make sure I know. I'm sorry, they finished second in the conference. They won the Southwest Division. The years before that, they finished 11th, 14th, 15th, and 15th in the conference. So they go 17 wins, 20 wins, 22 wins, 41 wins, and then last year they did go to 52 wins. Who did they lose to in the first round? The Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, it is kind of interesting how that plays out.
But they also have some really young pieces that are solid to be around KD.
So KD's gonna be that leader that the Rockets feel they need to finally get that title.
Mm-hmm. Fred VanVleet, he's a good vet, and they got Steven Adams on the team still. What's his name? Jabari Smith. They got Amin Thompson. Them Thompson boys are like that. They're them. And Alprun Shingun. If I misspelled his name, if I mispronounced his name, oh well. Shingun. Those are some good young boys. I ain't gonna lie. Like, they have all the pieces. They just gotta develop them.
So that brings me to number one. You take a look at this Houston team. Can you tell me with pure confidence, or at least a glimmer of hope, that they can beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, who come in at number one?
Man, listen.
In a 7-game series. Because look, this is the thing, man. I look at the Thunder, and I realized this last year when I looked at the team.
Thunder can be beat, though.
Well, yeah, of course they can. But my thing is, I don't know many sports teams right now that are pulling off winning strategies better than them. Here's why. Look at the draft picks they have stocked up for the future via trades and, free agency moves, things like that. Look at the roster. There is not a single starter in that lineup over the age of 27.
Yep.
Now, basketball, yes, is a sport where players play well into their 30s, but which gives it all the more reason where if you got guys that are 27 or younger, all your main guys, like, you are locked in. Then you take into account, according to ESPN, they have the highest FPR for any team since the Golden State Warriors during the KD era. So they're not, like, one way or another, there's a reason these guys are the defending champs.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's my last question for you before we shift gears. Who is the team, aside from the Thunder, that should be most watched out for in the NBA this year?
Can you repeat that real quick?
Yeah. All right. What NBA team should be the most feared and most looked out for other than the Thunder?
If they're at full capacity, I think you should be wary of the Mavericks. You have to be wary of the Rockets. You do, but you got to. Them young cats they're that good.
Okay.
What's another? My sleeper team, though. My sleeper team is Orlando. My sleeper team is Orlando.
What?
Orlando.
Okay, we didn't get to really talk about Orlando, and I don't know as much about Orlando. So you tell me why you think Orlando is that. Why is Orlando your sleeper team?
Paolo Banchero. That dude, bro. I knew he was good, but watching him in the playoffs last year, man, and then they got Desmond Bane. I'm telling you, the sky's the limit. I think Orlando is going to make a lot of noise.
Is it easier to make a lot of noise in the East than the West?
The Eastern Conference.
We're outside. You know what? I think last year actually might have changed a lot of that. I do agree up until that. Up until last year, I will say the East was obviously the least, but I think last year the Pacers provided a great amount of parity in the Knicks. You know, it wasn't just a 2-team race anymore. And so it was good seeing a lot of teams compete and then the Wizards just being there.
Oh, yeah. But they got a new 3-headed monster in Orlando.
Okay. Well,
Franz Wagner.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, folks, we are at the halfway. We are at the halfway point here on Roundabout Sports, episode 145. I'm the Maestro Jeremy Carp alongside Andrew Henson. And we just had a big old basketball talk. Had a little football in, but there's a couple things football related we still got to talk about. Well, but before we do, this is something we do, and I hate to say it, it breaks my heart to think about it. I was telling my dad this morning. This will be the second to last show that we get to do this. This is a segment with the regular season of Major League Baseball ending basically within the next week. By next Wednesday's show, pretty much it'll be done. So we are now going to have my favorite segment of the show that we like to call here, Just How Bad Do the Colorado Rockies Suck? This is where, of course, we take a look at the 2025 Colorado Rockies, where at one point they were on the path to making infamous history, but thanks to them, they're 43 and 114. So, what does that mean, folks? Well, at 43 and 114 losses, it means the Rockies will be just the fifth team in the modern era to not be able to win 50 games. With that, they will also be avoiding, on the bright side, the infamy that was set by the Chicago White Sox just last year. I will say, if you take a look at their standings, they're 45 games behind the Los Angeles Dodgers in the NL West, which obviously they aren't competing for anymore. And they're 38 games back of the final playoff spot. In the wild card, another thing they are not competing for. Team has dealt with a lot of injuries. I do hand it to them. Well, this is the thing. They had a terrible March and April, a terrible May. June, they went 10 and 16. July, 9 and 15. In August, 11 and 18. Okay, so those are the months that saved them from making infamous history. Well, this month they're 4 and 16. Lost to the Mariners just last night. So, yes. And for folks that are wondering just what are the worst modern era records, like the worst modern era records in Major League Baseball, I will say for a 162 game season, you have the Chicago White Sox last year, who are the worst, at 41 and 121. You have the 43 and 119 Detroit Tigers from 2003. The 2018 Baltimore Orioles that went 47 and 115 and finished 61 games out of first place. And then the 2019 Detroit Tigers, who went 47 and 114. Of course, at the time, the record of all this infamy was the New York Mets, the expansion Mets of 62 that went 40 and 120, but that was just 160 game regular season. And now, of course, the Colorado Rockies are on the verge of being a part of that infamy. And that, folks, is the penultimate feature segment that we like to call here Roundabout Sports. Just how bad do the Colorado Rockies suck? Man, oh man, I love that. It is always a laugh. Now,
let's go Rockies.
Oh goodness! With all that, so speaking of rocks, if you need any landscaping or home renovation needs, be sure to call Harsh Construction LLC. Harsh Construction LLC has a combined over 50 years worth of experience on their team with all kinds of home renovation needs. Call for a free quote today at 618-363-9818. That's 618-363-9818. 9818. Proud sponsor of Interstate 70 Sports Media and Roundabout Sports. We're going to continue now because there is also a lot we got to talk about in the world of football before I kind of fill everybody in on the crazy wild card races in baseball. So, Andrew, I'm going to ask you this. After I feel like I'll know your answer, but after Green Bay's loss, Minnesota, Chicago, and Detroit all won. On this past Sunday, are the Packers still, in retrospect, the favorites to win the NFC North?
I ain't worried about Chicago. I ain't worried about Minnesota. But it's a toss-up between us and the Lions. Because when in week 1, neither team was healthy. And if we're going down this same path where we can't keep our offensive linemen healthy, I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing.
And then we lost Reed. I don't think he's coming back this year, to be honest.
Reed's probably not coming back. A lot of people say, 6 to 8 weeks, broken collarbone. I personally do not think Reed is, nor should he come back this year.
So when you take into that, and I think it was Zach Tom is probably not playing against the Cowboys.
Zach Tom is pretty much out.
Yep. So when you take that into account, Detroit's getting healthy and we're getting unhealthy. But as of right now, I'm biased. So yeah, we're the number 1 seed. We're the favorites.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I'll tell you this. I want to say the NFC North odds right now, according to lovely old FanDuel. Well, hang on. Or not FanDuel. Yeah. Okay. So right now, FanDuel has the division winner as the Green Bay Packers at minus 115. If you want to place that bet, then you got the Lions at plus 175, the Vikings at plus 550, and then the Bears at plus 2200. Which, what's funny though, as far as last place teams go, from the looks of it, that is the closest odd any other team has. Now, I'm going to say this. I just love the discrepancy of the AFC East. I must say this. So the Bills are at minus 2,000 to be the favorites to win the division. Well, they're probably going to win anyway. We know that. The Patriots plus 1,700. The Dolphins and Jets are both plus 8,000. If that doesn't tell you the little faith that people have in these teams, and no other division is like that, not even the NFC South. Now,
that just gave me a headache.
I will tell you one sportsbook ranking I actually disagree with. So I look at the NFC West. Right now, the 49ers are minus 110 to win the division. Plus 110.
That ought to change.
The Rams are plus 180. The Seahawks are plus 650, and the Cardinals are plus 700. I'm telling you right now.
I'm putting my bet in.
I'm telling you right now, the Cardinals are making the wild card at least.
They're not winning. The Niners aren't winning either.
The Niners aren't going to make I don't even know if the Niners will make the playoffs.
Let me stop. I don't know.
Because let me tell you something. They were a big play from McCaffrey away from not winning that game last week against Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
That big play by McCaffrey that set up the field goal by Pinheiro, like that did it. That doesn't happen. They don't win.
Mm-mm.
Arizona plays Seattle tomorrow. Now, I have no problem believing that the Rams are the favorites to win the division. I mean,
I'm
come
glad we're on
on.
the same page.
The Rams, look, we can say what we want about the Rams, but look at Puka. Look at Devontae Adams still having a great year. Look at Matt Stafford still having a great year at age 37, 38. I mean,
Shout out to our OGs.
you got Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, who's a really solid backup to Kyron. I mean, the Rams are a dangerous team still.
Very.
And and you
that
know,
defense ain't no joke.
And the defense ain't no joke. But there's something about the Cardinals that I will. Okay,
You are infatuated with Arizona. I don't know why you think Arizona is going to make this crazy run every year. You put this faith on Arizona like Cowboy fans put on the Cowboys. I don't know what it is.
Actually, I did. I just remembered something. Wait a minute. Stop the presses. I just remembered. James Conner is out for the year.
I'm glad you remembered.
Yeah. So now I can kind of see why those odds are where they're at. You know what it is this is the thing, man. Honestly, I could care less who wins in the NFC West. We all know what division you love and what division I love. I'm repping the Jags right now. Will Joe Cool lead the Browns to the division title? I doubt it. But I've been dreaming since 2001. Why stop now, right? Mm-hmm. You know? I think it's because, you know, there is a lot of good young talent on Arizona.
Very good talent.
Honestly, a lot of teams in this league, when you really think about it, look at Detroit. Detroit magically went from being just a terrible last place team to an NFC juggernaut.
Worst coach in the league.
Ballsiest coach in the league. You say the worst all you want. He is not the worst coach in the league, and you know it. He's the ballsiest and
dirtiest coach in the league.
Is he though?
I said what I said.
Oh man. So let me ask you this: it's talking about Detroit in the NFC North and everything. You know, Detroit beat Baltimore a couple nights ago. They won big. Don't let the score fool you. They won big. They dominated that game.
Straight BTA.
Here's my question. Was that game more telling about the Lions or the Ravens?
I think that loss in week 1 woke them Lions up. And I think that the Baltimore Ravens thought they could lean on Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry just isn't producing right now. Derrick Henry and Lamar just not coming through at the moment. They're just not on the same page. Once they can get themselves together, this team is going to look a whole lot different. You know it, and we both know it.
Well, this is how I look at the Ravens week by week. We all know they should not have blown that first game against Buffalo.
Absolutely not.
There's no way that should have happened.
Buffalo got lucky.
Like that was an unbelievable comeback by the Bills. And I was happy for Matt Prater, of course. But Derrick Henry had a fantastic game that week. Then they faced Cleveland at Baltimore. Cleveland's run defense shut them down. The reason the Ravens dropped 41 is because the offense of Cleveland has been so bad. They were just short field position, turnovers. Baltimore didn't have to go far to score.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to drive downfield. But Derrick Henry, 11 carries, only 23 yards. Then you get to last week, this Monday night. Derrick Henry does decent enough, but once again, a costly fumble at the end, and led to a score. So I take a look at where, and you're right. I think the biggest thing, and we talked about this last night, actually, when you talk about the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, just remember, Lamar usually eludes everybody. Detroit was
He
on.
was white on rice.
It was bad. They did
He
not
wasn't
give
going
Lamar
nowhere.
any room. And even when Lamar was able to scramble around the lineman or something, boom, Derek Barnes or Aiden Hutchinson was the MVP of that game by far. Like, they were right there. I also think, and this is my last big point for the evening on this for the Ravens and the AFC and everything. I think a big reason the Ravens are also struggling at the gate for the most part, Mark Andrews. He ain't producing. This past week was the first week he produced all season. And look, I'm glad Zay Flowers is producing. I'm glad DeAndre Hopkins still showing what he's got left in the tank. But it's not an overall thing. Isaiah Likely being hurt hasn't helped.
There it is. I was about to say it. I was about to say it.
Isaiah Likely being injured with his foot injury wasn't helping. Excuse me. Justice Hill is not a good back to complement Derrick Henry.
Absolutely not.
Like, that's what I like about teams like the Lions. Something happens to Jahmyr Gibbs, you got David Montgomery. You don't got to worry in the world. Something happens to Derrick Henry, you expect Justice Hill to take care of everything? Hell no.
I mean, Justice Hill didn't look terrible.
As a pass catcher. He didn't even get a carry as a running back. Maybe a couple.
You remember? That's why I always thought Austin Eckler was a receiver.
Yeah. So I look at the AFC North. You got Cleveland that's once again trying to just find their identity in offense. Number one defense in the league, practically 30th on offense. Only because the Titans and the Saints exist. Then you got the Bengals, who were looking rough before Burrow got hurt, look atrocious now that Burrow is hurt.
Do they trade for a quarterback, or do they rock with Browning?
I think they go one more week with Browning. I think they go one more week because Minnesota's a tough test. But guess what? They got Denver this week, and that's a tough test. I'll tell you this. All fantasy owners out there for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are calling like crazy, begging for them to trade for Jameis or something.
Hey, don't hit up Green Bay. We're not trading Malik Willis.
Yeah. No, I think Jake Brown, it's not even all Jake Browning. The offensive line is just terrible, and the defense is weak.
When has it not been terrible after they paid Orlando Brown all that money, too?
Forget that. It's when they paid freaking Jamar Chase and T. Higgins all that money. You invest all that money in two receivers.
Two receivers and a quarterback.
Two receivers and a quarterback. Okay, well, it's great. We paid the quarterback. Now we got to pay somebody to protect the quarterback. Well, 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 are paid. What about the other 4?
You know what's crazy? That man's production has not been as anywhere near what it could have been. Like, he really should have just stayed in Kansas City.
Orlando Brown, yeah.
Like,
shoot, if you see how Jawan Taylor's doing, you see if he could fill in the spot.
I almost punched a hole in my wall. I ain't never seen a lineman who is so good at blocking but cannot keep his feet steady. Oh my gosh, bro.
Okay, there is, you know what? It's true. He's the most penalized lineman, but I got one thing before we wrap it up tonight. James Hudson III. Just watch the tape from the Giants, I think, Cowboys game. 4 straight times he got called for a penalty in some regard. He kept setting them back, either a false start, a holding, just back and back and back. It was too funny.
That's the type of stuff you see in a high school game, dog, where they take a whole quarter for one drive. Like, bro, what?
Yeah, that you cannot do that as an NFL lineman. But with that, folks, we're going to wrap it up this week here on Roundabout Sports. Of course, I want
one more thing to talk about. We got one more thing to talk about. You said we're going to bring up the WNBA a little bit.
You're right. That's right. You are so right. And there's one person in particular.
There's 2.
Okay. There's 2, but the first one, we got to talk about Miss Unanimous herself, Asia Wilson.
My girl Nafisa Collier got robbed. No, I'm playing. Nah, if Nafisa Collier did not get hurt, I'm telling you she was the MVP.
Okay.
I lost money because I bet that she would be the MVP. Okay. I love Asia Wilson. Don't ever get it twisted. I love Asia Wilson.
No, I'm not saying you aren't.
But
or otherwise.
Nafisa Collier was my pick this year.
But this is the thing.
It's ridiculous, the voting skills, how it went. Like, if Nafisa doesn't get hurt, I'm telling you.
Here's my question for you. Is Asia Wilson top 5 WNBA players all time?
Without a doubt. She's already proven that. Okay. Number 1, I don't know about that.
Top 3.
So you got Cynthia Cooper is my GOAT. Man, it's hard to put. So Maya Moore. All right. So we got to talk about Maya Moore. She retired early, but she didn't retire. Have you seen the picture where she was doing this and she was, like 11 rings between high school, college, and the pros?
Yeah.
Like, I can make the argument for her in the top 3, but she's definitely I can easily say top 5.
Easily top 5, argument for top 3, which is fair enough. I mean, because you're talking about
so many.
Well, she's a 4-time MVP, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 7-time All-Star, 4-time All-WNBA First Team. That's excluding any second-team stuff. Don't forget all the all-defensive teams, the scoring championships, and a 2-time WNBA champion, and honestly, maybe on the way to it being a 3-time and a WNBA.
Man. Shout out to Asia Wilson.
And you know what the craziest thing is?
Caitlin Clark is the greatest player of all time. No, I'm kidding.
You know what the craziest part, and this is really, I'm not. So obviously, my birthday's June 4th, 1995. Yours is February 26th of 96. Yeah, Asia Wilson is younger than both of us, and look at all the accolades she's had in her career. And keep in mind, she's been playing since I believe 2018 was when she first.
Year before I graduated college. Whoop, whoop.
Just absolutely phenomenal. She's definitely one of the top.
She's like she's one of my favorites to watch for sure.
I think especially in a league that constantly talks about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, I love seeing Asia Wilson shine. That's just how I look at it.
Even after she lost Kelsey Plum.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about the fact that the Aces still are in a stacked team.
We all know the Aces are gonna go all the way now. Right now, I mean, they blew out the Fever to even the series up.
I wonder why.
Wilson got 25 points out of that.
Caitlin Clark is out though, so I'm not saying Caitlin Clark would have won the game, but it would have been a different outcome for sure. Like the score.
Can I just say, Indiana? What is up with the Indiana basketball teams struggling with these key injuries in playoff time?
Caitlin Clark been out almost a whole year.
But point notwithstanding, I mean. You said it yourself. It would be a different story if Caitlin Clark was playing. Not guaranteeing a victory either way, but does Indiana do you agree Indiana would not have gotten blown out if Caitlin Clark was playing?
No, they wouldn't have. Or that's where it's confusing because Caitlin Clark takes very questionable shots, but her ability to play make. She don't play no defense for real. Like she can, but she can't. But her ability to score the ball and to play make and set her teammates up is what makes Caitlin Clark great. So my equivalent to Caitlin Clark is someone like Trae Young.
Ooh.
People don't even know Trae Young in college and in the NBA has at times led the league in scoring and assists. People don't even know that. Because who's Trae Young? Who cares about Atlanta? Who cares about Atlanta? Just saying.
Yeah.
So, Kalen Clark has the ability to lead in points and assists. I'll stand on that mountain.
Okay.
Postseason in the league.
I'm all for it. I mean, now before we do wrap, there is also one more thing that I do have to mention, and that is the current, as of 7:36 on September 24th, what the wild card standings are looking like, folks, in Major League Baseball. Right now, the Yankees have officially clinched a wild card spot and might get a division title. So either the Blue Jays or the Yankees will have a playoff spot. The Red Sox have the second spot right now. Then you have the Detroit Tigers, who have choked away, and I will emphasize that because go back to September 4th, or not September 4th. September, they were double-digit games ahead of Cleveland in the division. Now Cleveland is tied with Detroit, but has the tiebreaker over Detroit. So Cleveland's in first place. Detroit has the third wild card spot. Houston's a game behind, and Kansas City 6 games behind. Then we go to the National League. The Mets regained the lead on the third wild card spot. Behind them at 1 game is the Arizona Diamondbacks, and at 1 game, the Cincinnati Reds. 3.5 games back of the Mets for the final spot is the St. Louis Cardinals. Will the Cardinals find a way? Hell if I know. I don't know. Probably not. I've seen, you know what the worst part is, man? I've seen crazier things happen with this team. I really have. So I feel like if I say they won't, they will, and vice versa. So I'm really not sure. So we're just going to enjoy the ride for the last few games of the John Mozeliak era. And until then, folks, I want to thank you all for tuning in this week. Be sure to tune in to Roundabout Sports on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, Amazon Music, anywhere else you stream your podcast. Follow us on Facebook, on X, and on the I-70 Sports Media YouTube channel. As always, we put up at the end of every show the NAMI helpline. For that, you dial 1-800-950-NAMI. That's 1-800-950-NAMI. The National Alliance on Mental Illness is the nation's largest grassroots organization for people affected by mental illness, whether with themselves or with their loved ones. And of course, we end every show by putting up the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. And for that, you dial 988. The line is open 24/7, 365, 366 on leap years. Understand you're never alone in this world. There is always somebody out there who loves you, who cares about you, who wants nothing but the best for you. We all go through struggles, trials, and tribulations every day. But that doesn't mean they have to be faced alone. You are just a phone call, a text message, an email appointment away from what could be that life-saving moment for you. And you could also be the listening ears and watchful eyes for someone else in need as well. I want to thank my friend Andrew for joining me this week. Look forward to episode 146 next week on Roundabout Sports. And until then, I'm the Maestro, Jeremy Karp. And remember, life is a book full of empty pages just waiting to be written in. Make your lives worth reading. Good night, everybody.